Hello students, welcome to the Oliveboard platform. The SSC CGL Tier 2 is approaching fast and there is very less time for you to prepare, to check your preparation, to understand your weakness and to get back and improve it for all the subjects involved. Now just understand how much time are you actually wasting. So I am here today to tell you how not to and where not to waste the time, specifically pertaining to the logical reasoning section. That is, when we tell you to selectively study, you can actually save time by reducing the low ROI topics. Now let's get through this session quickly to understand what are low ROI topics. So our main aim is to move from a brute force to strategic planning. Okay. So let's start. Tier 2 syllabus is smaller. That is not the case. Most of us consider that ways that it's only a little bit more than Tier 1. So Tier 1 I've already done. I just need to focus on these extra topics. That's not how it works. Tier 1 topics also will slightly change in terms of their level. And Tier 2, the topics which are introduced are actually very complex. So they need your time and attention. All right. So while you're preparing next time, if those who are preparing for Tier 2 exclusively right now, wonderful. If you are a preparer for 2026 and you're watching this video, start now for Tier 2. So prepare specifically for Tier 1 plus 2 right now. Okay. So that is the reality. So everything which has been asked in Tier 1, up and above that, you will be preparing for Tier 2. So the things will become more and more complex, which you need to lay your head on. Now, what are the actual stakes in the Tier 2 examination? Number one is from plus 2 marks, we increase every question to plus 3 marks. So now every question is worth 3 marks. Think from your school level perspective. You remember when you used to have a 1 mark question, you used to write very less, a 2 mark question slightly more, 3 mark question more, 4 mark question a lot of details. So the more the weightage of the question, the more you used to write, right? Now of course you don't have to write anything subjective here, but that is how you need to understand. A 2 mark question and a 3 mark question. The 3 mark question has to be more valuable. It has to be worth it. They can't just copy paste everything from Tier 1 and give it in Tier 2. So that is an illusion which you feel that is true, but actually Tier 2 is different and slightly more challenging than Tier 1. Okay, because every question carries 3 marks now, and even the stakes are higher. The negative marking is also high. There is 1/4 marking there negative, there is 1/3 marking here negative. So it becomes more challenging. And your high level reasoning is involved here. Topics like critical reasoning, data sufficiency, puzzle based questions, right? So they need more focus, more understanding, and to do that in a less amount of speed with higher accuracy is slightly more challenging. And there is a lot of conceptual understanding which you need. Critical thinking in itself is a different skill set which you need to acquire. It can't be done by short tricks. Okay. So these are the things at stake. So what you need to do is you need a lot of time to invest in these positions, and for that you need to save time. So once you're done with Tier 1, right, when you're preparing for Tier 2, stop wasting your time in going through low ROI topics. Low ROI means you are putting in a lot of input, but the output which you're getting is not good. Either the weightage is very less, the probability of occurrence is very low in the examination, or they have almost not been asked for a very long time. So once you have done it, you need to do it once, then you can just denote, let's say, some 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes of practice session every day of those questions, but you don't need to separately devote anything else, right? So our logic here is, from all possible topics, we are removing the low return activities and we are primarily focusing on the high ROI, high impact topics, right? So that has to be your strategy. So how will you deprioritize strategically, right? Number one, you can ignore topics like dictionary order, word formation, matrix reasoning. Now word formation and matrix reasoning, their questions have not been consistently asked for a very long time. Dictionary order, one question you have always seen, but this topic is consistently so easy that the basic structure of the topic is going to remain same. So now you don't have to go through anything. You don't have to practice 20, 50, 30 questions of this topic every day. Just in a regular practice, maybe 1 question or 2 questions here and there can keep you in touch, right? Low priority means counting figures. Questions like counting figures actually take a lot of time to understand, to keep practicing new questions, and these sort of questions you will never have a complete mastery on. But the problem is they consume a lot of your time. So as of now, if you see, Tier 2 has never been very heavy on counting figures, right? So you can, at this moment, if you're preparing and if you have not gone through these topics, you can almost skip them So no special dedicated time for them. Only utilize them 1 or 2 questions every day in your practice sectional mocks. So I think that is there in your mocks. So you need to lay focus only that much. You don't need to extensively practice these, right? And for these topics, only practice the advanced questions. Basic level questions will not be asked because it is not worth 3 marks. Topics like analogy, okay, simple series. So focus on multi-layer square or cube patterns or number or symbol types, right? These are the types of questions which can be asked, which will be slightly more challenging, slightly more interesting. And if you remember, analogy, the way of asking also changes. The letter analogy patterns, if you remember, they are using symbols and they are partially removing analogy letters from both the sections and asking you questions based on that. So try to look for these variations, okay? That is the primary idea you need to have. So that is how you strategically deprioritize things. You lay your focus on the important aspects. What is the logic here? The logic, as I've already shared, is they are not worth 3 marks. They will not give you a simple question which can be solved in 5 seconds or 10 seconds for 3 marks. Okay, so you need to be focused on that. I'm not saying that they're not going to give you easy topics or easy questions. Of course they do that, but they are used as fillers, maybe 1 or 2 questions here and there. But overall, you will not see consistently a lot of easy questions. You will find something tricky, something interesting, something offbeat. You need to be prepared for that beforehand, right? Your preparation also needs to be smart about that. Now, we'll learn 3 to 4 time sinks. Time sinks means those things which consume a lot of your time while preparation, and you need to avoid that. So the first time sink is the non-verbal reasoning trap. See, non-verbal reasoning, Tier 1 may still have some questions, but Tier 2 is not heavily dependent on non-verbal reasoning. Tier 1 sometimes earlier used to have 30 to 34% questions of non-verbal reasoning, which have now reduced to 20% approximately. But Tier 2 is not heavily dependent on non-verbal. You will not find a lot of questions on figure-based concepts. So don't go through the conceptual understanding or detailed practice once again now. Don't waste a lot of time on complex questions. As of now, once you're done in the Tier 1 level only, just keep practicing good questions, 1 or 2 questions here and there, so that you are in good touch, frequent touch. Okay, so that is the idea, right? Limit to 15-20 minutes every day and that's it. Don't get too much involved into this. The second trap is the banking puzzle illusion. See, now whenever we talk of the topic puzzles, what happens is once you start solving the basic puzzles, you get a hunger for making it more and more difficult. And you end up foraying into the banking zone where extremely difficult puzzles of variables more than 3, 4, 5, they are asked. So you will consistently make cases, 5 cases, 6 cases, 7 cases, then you delete and then you end up getting your answer. That is actually a complex procedure and SSC never asks you that because of time sensitivity. If they ask you one such puzzle, you end up taking 10 minutes to solve it, 5 minutes to solve it. It's not worth it. So they will never put such a question to you. Always stick to what has been happening with SSC. SSC is majorly at most they will ask you a 2 variable based puzzle, which you can easily solve in a matter of 1.5 minutes. Okay. So stick to those puzzles. Even if you feel they are easy, consistently, repeatedly keep revising, keep practicing the common types of puzzles which are asked and limit yourself to that. Don't get carried away to the banking levels. Otherwise, you will end up wasting your time at this stage, right? The third time sink is the shortcut mirage in critical reasoning. A lot of people in critical reasoning, what they feel is, okay, these keywords I know and I know this basic trick, I will apply it and mathematically try to solve critical reasoning. That is not how you will be able to ace it. There will be questions which will actually test the real nuances, and if that happens, these tricks will fail brutally out there. So there are separate traps of critical reasoning where you might get trapped. Obversion trap, the keyword trap, right? The restatement trap. And if anything of this sort happens with you, it's gone. Everything is out of your hand. So you have to give that dedicated time here. So whatever time you're cutting down from there, you have to give that here. Practice critical reasoning in extreme detail. Spend some 9-10 hours on building the concept alone, and then start working on the questions one by one, keeping those little basic concepts in mind. You will start getting better at it. Critical thinking cannot be solved mathematically. It is a skill-based approach. You need to develop critical thinking skills to be able to solve these questions. So they are actually very valuable, and they're going to test you on a lot of limits, on a lot of scales. Now time sink 4 is mathematical operations. So a lot of people get under the illusion that whatever mathematical operator based questions we were seeing in Tier 1, similarly we'll see in Tier 2. That's not how it works. Tier 1 uses majorly based on swapping based simple questions that swap these 2 signs, check, or which two signs should be swapped to make the equation balanced. But here you will start getting slightly more interesting, difficult variations where you might have to actually calculate up to an extent. So practice those sorts of questions so that even if these are asked, you are ready. Don't waste your time here. Completely don't practice those questions at all, because once you are done and dusted with this in Tier 1, you are okay, you are ready. You don't have to focus at all. Try to practice slightly difficult questions in this range so that even if the easy ones are asked, you are covered, you are ground covered, right? So these are common time sinks, and if you can overcome these time sinks, what will happen is you have isolated the topics which are high ROI focus. ROI means return on investment. That means whatever time you are giving, you are getting a better output, or at least a good output as much as the time is invested. Your output should not be less than the input, okay? Do practice the newer topics also, whatever new topics are expected, input, output, critical reasoning, social ethical dilemma, okay? So these things are very important. Go through these topics as well. Do not leave any stone unturned. Whatever is done once in Tier 1 is sufficient. Build on Tier 2 separately now, okay? Now let's look at what exactly is going to be helpful from the Tier 2 perspective. Of course, data sufficiency. So you need to be thoroughly well versed with data sufficiency. I have seen major students fail here in terms of the mocks. If you observe the live mocks, you will always see as a pattern, data sufficiency based questions are the most highly time consuming questions for students, whereas the approach is very simple, okay? So learn to save time here. Okay, complex syllogism, again, easy syllogism you'll still be able to figure out, but if they increase the complexity level, you will go off track. So your preparation should be on a very good level, right? Then advanced coding decoding questions can also improve here, right? So go thoroughly through that. The Chinese coding based blood relations also, they will focus more on coded based questions, and these days they're asking you reverse coded blood relations. That is, they will give you 4 options with 4 different expressions. They will give you a relation and they will ask you which expression follows. So go through that also, right? That is going to be more and more helpful. So basically, Tier 1 rewards your hard work. You are working hard for your Tier 1. Tier 1 will actually reward you on that, but Tier 2 is based on smart work. So now learn to cut this data, this redundant data from your syllabus. Cut it down to interesting sections, to small sections, to repetitive sections, and keep repeating this newer part so that you master, you ace the Tier 2 examinations completely. So that is the complete focus of this video, where not to waste times in the reasoning section. If you have liked it, hit the like button right away and share this video across platforms so that other aspirants can also benefit from this wonderful strategy based video. Thank you so much for watching us till here. Subscribe to the Oliveboard platform if you are new here, and keep waiting for us for newer content. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Namaskar. Jai Hind.